In the past few days, major storms tore through the natural state and caused tornadoes, flooding, and large-sized hail. Storms that moved through on Wednesday and continued through the state over the weekend left thousands without power, multiple injured, many trees down, and untold amounts of damage. According to the Arkansas Department of Emergency Management, there have been 13 injuries and 1 death, a 5-year-old child, reported. As of Sunday evening, PowerOutage.us reports that 42,390 customers in the state are still without power, including 27,371 in Pulaski County, 8,230 in Saline County, and 3,547 in Hot Spring County. Mayor Frank Scott, Jr. said in a post on social media that Entergy expects an additional 62 crews to be out on Sunday on top of the 80 from yesterday, with approximately 750 team members working to restore power in the state.
Just about lost it.
The mayor also said that crews are actively cleaning debris, downed trees, and standing water from roadways to ensure safe travel across the city, which will continue throughout the day. Families in Little Rock's Meadowcliff neighborhood near South University are among those cleaning up after this week's storms. One woman said her home will have to be demolished after a tree fell through it during Saturday's high winds. We have an awning that goes over our front window. As soon as I saw it flip up, I told my boys to move away from the window, and everything came down, Jessica Buckthorpe said. On Greenway Drive in southwest Little Rock, multiple trees were down, taking out power lines along with them. One chainsaw operator described how a spontaneous gathering of neighbors set to work to clear a large tree from a road right after yesterday's high winds moved through. One guy stopped, another one came. By the time it ended up, there was 8 of us, Halsey Thompson said. We got the whole thing cut up, and a lot of people came through and thanked us and stuff. It was just a community thing. In addition to damage from downed trees, high water has also become a problem on roadways across the state, with the Arkansas Department of Transportation reporting about 70 highway closures due to high water. There were also reports in northeast Arkansas of 2 train derailments that were caused by floodwaters and powerful winds early Saturday morning. On Sunday afternoon, the Arkansas Red Cross announced that it has opened an additional shelter in West Memphis to help residents affected by flooding and severe weather. The Red Cross also reported that the shelter located at the historic Old Hardy Gym remains open to those affected in the community as well. As a result of this week's storms and the damage left, FEMA announced on Saturday that President Donald Trump has approved help for Arkansas after Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders requested a major disaster declaration just ahead of the storms. Heavy multiple days of severe storms and heavy rainfall, storm damage, and flash flooding has resulted in school, road, and interstate closures throughout the state.
For the shaky video, guys,
The Arkansas Department of Transportation, ARTD, closed multiple interstates due to flooding, including I-57. While this closure was a sign of caution for most of the state, others took it as an opportunity to wakeboard. ARTD cameras caught a jet ski and a wakeboarder traversing the flooded I-57 between Jacksonville and North Little Rock. Blaine Wagoner, who gives surfing and wakeboarding lessons in the summers, was spotted on traffic cameras and made quite the memory for himself, much to the disapproval of officials who advise against activities like this due to the potential dangers. It's important to remember that flooded areas are closed due to unsafe conditions, and there's no immediate information on what potential hazards could be in the water, so officials strongly encourage Arkansans to stay away from such areas. In the time since the photo was taken, ARTD officials have confirmed that the water has receded and is no longer on the interstate. The American Red Cross is partnering with the Church of Christ disaster relief effort to provide resources to Hardy residents affected by recent severe weather and flooding. Hardy Mayor Ethan Barnes provided the following update on disaster relief efforts on social media. Emergency relief supplies, food, diapers, and more will be handed out at the Hardy Civic Center on Wednesday, April 9th, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Red Cross spokesperson A.J. Donaldson said a shelter is available at the Old Hardy Gym for those needing a place to stay. Hardy Mayor Ethan Barnes also told local media that the Red Cross will provide 100 hot meals for lunch and dinner at the Hardy Civic Center on Thursday, April 10th. Meanwhile, Battalion Chief Mark Shoemaker of the North Little Rock Fire Department reported that crews have been very busy responding to the aftermath of the severe weather. Since 11 a.m., we have made approximately 75 to 80 calls for service, said Shoemaker. The calls have varied from downed electrical lines to water emergencies and multiple trees falling in yards or on houses. One tree fell even right in the front lawn of North Little Rock Fire Department Station 7. Shoemaker explained why these trees were falling, saying, "Understand that the ground is saturated. These trees are coming down now because we went so long without rain, and then we get so much rain at one time over the past 24 to 48 hours that trees are just coming down on houses." He emphasized the importance of adhering to road barricades, stating they are there for a reason and urged residents not to bypass them. Shoemaker also warned of potential gas leaks. A lot of times the gas lines will run near trees that will come up and disrupt some gas lines, so we will run on some of those calls for service. When the power gets turned back on, we will also have calls for service because when the power gets on, there are things that will arc, catch fire, and possibly burn things around houses. As of around 5 p.m. on Saturday, the city of North Little Rock reports North Little Rock Electric has restored 4,000 outages in a 3-hour time period. A deadly barrage of severe weather, tornadoes, and torrential rain has come to an end, but the danger is far from over in communities across the Midwest and South as angry rivers continue to rise, forcing families from their homes. At least 25 people in 7 states have been killed due to the severe weather, including deaths from tornadoes and extreme weather in Tennessee, Missouri, Indiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi, and fatalities from flooding in Kentucky. President Donald Trump approved emergency disaster declarations for Arkansas, Tennessee, and Kentucky, allowing the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, to provide additional support for communities grappling with the scope of the historic disaster. The National Guard, Kentucky State Police, and other state and local leaders have been working tirelessly to keep people safe and have urged people to avoid travel if possible. The historic flooding that has plagued communities in the Mississippi and Ohio valleys has led to mandatory evacuations in Tennessee.
No, they're in a boat. Okay.
Dyer County Mayor David Quick issued mandatory evacuation orders for Cocklebur and surrounding communities in Bogota due to the significant flooding impacts in the community. The evacuation order was posted to Facebook and includes all residents east of Highway 78. "We understand that this is a difficult situation, but your safety is paramount," Quick said. "Please take this order seriously and evacuate immediately." The order also had a dire warning. Those who don't comply with the evacuation order may not be able to receive help from first responders. In addition, residents may be held personally liable for any damage or injury sustained. The Tennessee National Guard has also been helping those impacted by flooding. On Monday, soldiers from the 230th Engineer Battalion were on hand to assist the Emergency Management Agency in Obion County by delivering 240 cases of supplies to residents. Meteorologist in charge at the National Weather Service office in Memphis, Tennessee, Darwan Jones, joined Fox Weather on Tuesday morning and said there's still a lot of recovery ahead for waterlogged communities. For a lot of these communities, while we've had the severe weather over the last week, the rainfall that fell throughout the weekend is just now starting to impact a lot of areas through the Mid-South, Jones said. And while precipitation stopped falling, The flooding danger isn't over. It's very hard to contextualize this, Jones continued. You know, you mentioned the 223 warnings. Just in comparison to last year, 2024, we issued 262 warnings for the entire year. So, we did all of that in like a 4-day span. Jones went on to say that the event is still unfolding. The worst is yet to come for a lot of areas, he said. So, you know, it's not over. So, it's hard to talk about the uniqueness from a historical perspective at this time.
Good friend lives right there in that house. First floor completely underwater.